Sumit sir, kindly. Sumit sir, please kindly start the Saraswati Vandana.
कुन्देन्दुतुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतं शङ्करं प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा।
Now, I would like to give a short introduction about our SAGE group with the blessings of our respected CMD, Engineer Sanjeev Agrawal sir, Dr. Prashant Din sir, BCM of the SAGE group, our both ED madams, Ms. Shivani Agrawal ma'am and Ms. Sakshi Agrawal ma'am. They are working hard to make our SAGE group and to take our SAGE group to a new height. And the main tagline of our SAGE group is to bringing happiness to the society. So I would like to give a brief introduction about our SAGE group in the form of a small video. So Mr. Please kindly play a corporate video. I would like to request our respected director, Dr. Aditya sir, to please address our participants and welcome our guest. So please. Sumit sir, kindly unmute, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let me start. Good morning, Dr. A.N. Nagappa sir and Dr. Mahadev Bhat sir. Behalf of SIRT Pharmacy, I would like to thanks and sharing your important time and spare with us our upcoming pharmacist, which is very definitely very fruitful in future because you have the vast and lot of experience in clinical pharmacy. Dr. Anand sir, as you know that we have the lot of knowledge, but we are if we are don't connect with the student or we student are not connect with the community, which is a main important key for the healthy community life. So I am very grateful to the legend with us and share the knowledge with us and enrich our student. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. स्वागत है आप दोनों का हमारी तरफ से. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request, now I would like to introduce our two legendary speakers which are being with us. Before starting this, I would like to give a brief objective behind this webinar. Actually, both our speakers, Dr. Anant Naik sir and Dr. Mahadev Bhat sir, they are working very hard to make our community pharmacist and to realize our upcoming students the duty what they have to do with the patients. They should work for the patient oriented, patient centric work, and they have to enlighten our society with their great job. So with these words, I would like to introduce first Dr. Anant Naik sir. Sir has completed his graduation and post-graduation from Government College of Pharmacy, Bangalore. And Sir has completed his PhD from BITS, Pilani, Rajasthan in the year 1989. Sir has also recently completed his doctorate in science from in the year 2020. Sir, during this vast year of experience, uh, Sir has worked as a various directors and professors in the various renowned colleges. Sir is also having the great experience in industries and research. Many projects are undergone by the Sir from which are funded by the various government agencies like Liquid Membrane Phenomena and Drug Action, which is funded by AICTE in year 2000, worth rupees 40 lakhs, and pharmacological screening of Abiliton Indicum funding by the Karnataka State Science Development Council, worth rupees 7,000 during the year 2000. And so many projects are also there in which Sir has received the grant from the various government agencies. Till now, Sir has guided the PhD students, six M.Pharm students more than 110, V.Pharm students more than 80, and recently the three students are recently working under Sir's guidance for PhD degree. Sir has also received the Lifetime Achievement Award in International Scientist Award in the year 2020 on Engineering, Science and Medicine in 2020 year. Sir has also undergone many invited talks in pharmacy practice in India, and also he is invited as a guest speaker from abroad also. So with these vast achievements and awards, I would like to welcome Dr. Nagappa sir, and on the behalf of SIRTS Pharmacy. Simultaneously, I would also like to welcome our another speaker also, Dr. Mahadev Bhat sir. And I would like to give a short introduction about Mahadev sir also. Sir is a retired clinical pharmacist, came to USA in the year 1972. There he worked for so many years. From last 18 years, he has worked for industry, and he also gone through the different part of the pharmacy over the last 50 years in USA. Sir is also worked as a R&D director, plant manager, operation manager, and for 12 years, sir has also worked in a hospital pharmacy as a director. For over 8 years, he used to own 4 community pharmacy with a home health care, injectable preparation, diabetic care, asthma care, osteoporosis center, breast cancer counseling, geriatric pharmacy, hospital care, and sold so many items regarding this. Sir has joined the Valgreen retail chain pharmacy in year 2003, and sir has retired in the year 2016 from the Valgreen pharmacy as a clinical pharmacist. So I would also, welcome you, sir, Mahadev, sir, on the behalf of Sage Group and SIRTS Pharmacy. It's a pleasure for all of us to listen these two renowned dignitaries from the pharmacy field. So thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Now, Nagappa, sir, you please can start your technical session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I want to focus on to Priyanka. You have to skip the slides while sharing, and you have to focus on the notification. And then next one is the FIP WHO handbook case study, and then my talk is over. Then I want to spare this other remaining time to our co-speaker. He will also speak. So now let me give a brief introduction about the community, why it is important, and what are we, what is the future. And I also I request you to make a WhatsApp group. Already I have shared one audio by Sajeev Nair. It is about trends, future trends. It is closely connected to our field only. So after listening to it, you will get inspired and you will start doing that. See, we all know that the medicines are very, very can do harm and do good. So as a result of it, we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful while using it. So if you look at any medicine for that matter, aspirin alphabetically to zolpidem, all medicines got side effects, and these side effects are to be cared while using the medicines. Otherwise, there will be safety issues. Patient safety issues are there, so we have to be very cautious. This thing. So to overcome such a challenge, because medicine used by most of the people, everyone uses it. Everyone is a medicine user, so everyone needs pharmaceutical care. So it is a very big challenge, and the current Indian system also I would like to talk about. In India, we don't have the remuneration for pharmacy service. But one good news, the Act, Pharmacy, the Pharmacy Act, the Pharmacy Practice Regulations 2015 allows one to get charge money for the services he provides. See, there are two things. Dispensing medicine is not a service. Maybe a service which runs on the margin of sales. So there is no much pharmacy knowledge is required for dispensing. That's why the people sometimes say that, so why need a registered pharmacist? The people who learn about English, they can do it. But it is not so, because medicines are to be given with proper education to the user, end user, what we to say. So the end user is patient, isn't it? So he has got every patient has got his own unique physiology, unique disease condition, and so many things are unique, and there is a need for customized care. That's why the pharmacists are required. Pharmacists uh, are required, and they are going to play a vital role. I have seen in many countries like USA and Canada, Australia, even New Zealand, Singapore, all these countries, the pharmacist has a role to talk to patient and transfer the information what they have. Here, what is happening? We have got a fragmented way of dealing with things. So industrialists, they manufacture their own products, and drug regulators, their own union is there. So like that, we are all fragmented. We don't connect to each other. As a result of it, what will happen? The medical shop, although there is a law is there that the must have done the diploma in pharmacy, but after that diploma in pharmacy, what he does he provide services to the public? This is a question. So this is why the things are very, very different. And in India, the medicines are handled carelessly. They are handled like the like the condiments, like chocolates. They are going to, as if they got no harms. Dear friends, please understand, the medicines are to be used in a very, 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 very discriminate manner. Means one should be very cautious. One should not use the medicines on their own. Suppose a television in my home gets out of order, because I have got a lot of education, should I start opening the television and repairing it? We can't do it, We have to go to a technician who is trained in that, and he will help us. And he will correct our TV, and it will be all right. We have to pay him some fees. This is the usual model everywhere. But as far the medicines are concerned, we are careless. This is very strange, but again, true. So we have to be very, very cautious about this. And the government of India is also very much concerned about this. Because it has given a gazette notification in 2015 January, and also on 2021 another gazette notification. It is called as Pharmacy Practice Regulations 2015. Can you move to that slide, madam? Can you move to the slide, the Pharmacy Practice Regulation, Rajya Patra? Skip all this text, madam, because there's no time. I don't want to. So please, so that first page, Rajya wo dikhai. First slide in that. Yeah, come down. Another slide. No. Come down. Rajya Patra, you have come and you went scrolling down very fast. It should be focused. So I will talk about it. What is that? And what is the importance of that and all. So this is the Rajya Patra. No, I don't think you are. This is right. This is Bharat Rajya Patra. Means the gazette notification. Gazette notification. So in the gazette, it empowers all the pharmacists, all the registered pharmacists. In our country, we have 3-tier registered pharmacist: diploma in pharmacy, degree in pharmacy, and master in pharmacy. Sorry, Form D. So all these 3-tier pharmacists governed by this law and regulation. The provisions of this law is applicable to all the registered pharmacists. So this is how the things are there in the country, and we have to make best use of these regulations. So let us understand what is pharmacy practice and why it is important. So I have been talking all this every way, and actually legally, when you talk about the regulation, pharmacy practice regulation means the interpretation, evaluation, and implementation of prescriptions order, participation in drug and device selection, drug administration, drug regimen reviews, very important, drug or the drug related research. So this is the pharmacy practice means. Practice of pharmacy involves all these things. First is interpretation. So when the prescription comes, you have to interpret, you have to discuss with the patient. What is his condition? Whether the medicine matches the condition, whether it is not the wrong thing, wrong medicine is given to a patient. You know, in a hurry, it happens so. Many people will be prescribed medicines which are not meant for a condition. So that one we have to check. That is the responsibility of a pharmacist. And further, you have to evaluate. So whether the dose is correct, whether there is no duplication of the medicine, because we have 1 lakh formulations in the country. And many a times the same medicine is there in several medicines the doctor prescribes. So we must be very cautious. We must be able to identify what are the active ingredients, what are the doses, and then there is no duplication of the things. Even the pharmacological did not be duplicated. See, implementation. So how to use medicines, you have to tell. You have to explain what is this medicine meant for. Each ingredient is meant for its condition. So the patient education, patient counseling is become a paramount important. It is in countries like USA, insurance companies. Why insurance companies? There's a lot of health insurance is happening in the developed countries, and if they are misusing medicines, if they are not using the medicines as per the requirement, more medicines are there, means lot of money is lost for the insurance company. So insurance company hires pharmacists and asks them to check the prescription and do the, what is that? Madam, don't change the slide, please. Please come to the earlier slide. No, next slide you come. No, not chapter 2. No, I was explaining, the first slide. Practice. Here only, you be here only and I will tell you when to change, madam. And unless I tell, you don't change. Again, change it. So, this is the drug regimen reviews. So we have to understand what is drug regimen review. The regimen is given. How many patients is given? How much of drug you utilize? See, all these drug research related is the part of the practice. For this, all registered pharmacists are important, not the PharmD. People have got a concept that the hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacy, community pharmacy, the domain of PharmDs. Where are PharmDs? PharmDs are not at all entering this field. They're entering the corporate, they are going to hospitals. Majority of the PharmDs are getting placed in pharmacovigilance and pharmaceutical industry. So they are more in the industry, they are replacing the MPharm in the industry, and we expect them to do pharmacy practice. So we expect the diploma and degree students to take a lead and make it happen. So now what is not happening, it should start happening. Next slide, please. So in the chapter 2, so there are, this is also not necessary. Can you go for the next slide? You'll come afterwards, code of ethics. Okay, come, you have run 2 minutes. Okay, let me go to the previous slide. I will explain as the slide is exhibited. I can't follow this thing. The next slide after the first slide was what? The code of ethics. Dharmo rakshita. We must be very much having feelings, sincerity, affection for the people who support us. Who are supporting us? The patients. The patients in India, they will come and buy the medicines, and through that transaction, we earn our livelihood. You may be working in college, you may be working in industry, you may be working in regulatory affairs, you may be something else. But ultimately, if you are a pharmacist, you are getting remunerated by not by government, but by the patient. So please understand, you must be loyal to the patient and you must do all the things which are good to the patient. And don't do anything wrong, ignoring the patient interest. But what's happening right now? The pharmaceutical industry is made our therapeutics as a product-centered environment. We must kick it off. We must make it into a patient to explain you much better. So we must have a feeling. We must have a commitment to the patient, not to the pharmaceutical industry. But although the system is like that only, if you say, how can we have to challenge the system? Now the time has come, we have to challenge the system. But without criticizing, without hurting anybody, we have to put our rights, because these are the rights given by the Rajyapatra. Rajyapatra has given us power. You please follow this and you behave like this. Okay? So I will do like that only. So this is how the goes on. The code of ethics are very, very important, because the commitment, if you look at any animal, human being, even a bacteria or even something else, they care for their children. They care for their children. Oh, they take utmost care. Nobody trains an elephant to take care of her born elephant. Horse, donkey, anything, dog, cat, you look at anything. The mother gets all the skills when she becomes mother and nurses her child. Similarly, we pharmacists should learn from mother. We should be like mother to the patients. So we must have that type of commitment. Then only the things can change in this country. Only if you superficially act, people will come to know. People will come to know that what they will understand. So please change the slide. So money you are talking about in USA, in America, and in the Canada, the community pharmacist, a person working in a medical shop, is earning around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per day in Indian rupees. And Mahadev will tell you how much money right now the things are here. And not only the money, the highest respect they are. So to quote this thing, I will tell you, one of my students who did B.Pharm in my early career, Pradeep Damodaran, had opened a pharmacy in a village, Kamloops, in Vancouver, Canada province. And Kamloops is a small village. There he has established his community pharmacy. So when I went to Canada on a conference, I went to his this thing and I stayed with him, because Kamloops was very near to the Vancouver city. So I said that I went to his pharmacy to see how the things are there. It was absolutely perfect, and there was a space for patients to walk in and buy medicines, and also they buy other merchandise like cosmetics and other things, and healthcare, health boosting products. All these things are there, but medicines are under the control of the Pradeep Damodaran and his wife also is a pharmacist. So both of them have to clear an examination to become a pharmacist. To clear a toughest examination, because licenses are not given as freebies. They have to prove that they have the latest knowledge. So license given for 1 year, 2 years, and afterwards again, you want to continue in the profession, you have to pass the examination. So the system is very tight there. So for that thing, people will keep abreast about the latest about medicine knowledge, and they will transfer this medicine knowledge for the benefit of the patients. You understand? For the benefit of the patients. So now the government of India, through its gazette, this thing empowers us to collect money for our services. So we have to ask the government, it is not going to happen. You please subsidize. So if a pharmacist documents the patient counseling, he must be given some money. Incentives should be given according to this. So like that, the pharmacy practice gets supported by in some countries by the insurance companies, sometimes government itself. So all these things are happening in the world, but we are in a very, very rudimentary, very, very basic stage. We are only bothered about selling more and more products, and because we get more margin. This is not good, So you are selling medicines without finding out what will be happen to the patient after consuming so many medicines. You will not question because it is not in your interest. So that is against. So please consider that and take care of this. Next slide, please. So duty, please stay on this slide for more time. I would like to take more time. So duties of registered pharmacists to their patients. So pharmaceutical care, in addition to the provisions of drugs and cosmetics rules, the following provisions shall be included. No person other than registered pharmacist shall compound, prepare, dispense or supply of any medicine on the prescription to a patient or to a registered medical practitioner. A registered pharmacist shall give a patient record and prescription presented for the supply of promoting therapeutic appropriateness by identifying what they have to identify. Overutilization. Suppose in a prescription, the doses, all the doses, it. You all study a separate chapter in the tutorial pharmacy, Cooper and Gunn, dosology, the science of dosage form, the dosages. So you will identify, compare the dose written there, and then you will find out what is the whether the matching the patient. So utilization and underutilization, you should be checked. And therapeutic duplication. I told you 1 lakh formulations, several formulations comes in very different names and confuses the doctor, confuses everybody. And as a pharmacist, you go for the content, what is there, and you have to find out whether there is any duplication, because duplication is not good. It will lead to the excess dose, and excess dose is dangerous for the health of the patient. So we must also take care. So now, drug disease interaction. So the patient also to be motivated to use the drugs. See, the patient is much depressed because of his condition. He has gone to doctor out of not able to tolerate the suffering of the disease. And he has been given medicines. And he should learn about these medicines, how to use them in a proper manner. Is it not our right? So we have to take care of that. So drug disease interactions and drug interactions, incorrect drug dosage or duration of treatment. Suppose doctor says that you take for 10 days. The patient, what he does, he takes drug for the first 5 days and he finds that he is all right for another 5 days. Why he has to take drug? He takes his own decision. This you must caution. You must use the drugs for 10 days because the disease is going to sustain in the body, although its symptoms vanish first. The disease symptoms vanish first and then later on they will come. If he stops the drug, then it will come up again. There are so many diseases where the complete course of treatment is necessary. So please ensure that your patients are buying adequate medicines and sticking to the complete regimen. Because many times it will again bounce back. The patient will come with the same disease because they have not completed the course of treatment. So drug allergy interactions, indications of, suppose some patients, because in the community, everybody is your friend. Now they are coming there, isn't it? They're coming to your place and you get familiarized with them. They know your face and you know their face. So they know your condition and you should have a computer in your pharmacy and you must find out the patient is whether allergic or not. Because allergy means it's not a simple thing. It may be an anaphylactic shock, which is life-threatening. So we must always keep track of the drug allergy reactions and what drug prescribed for him. Is it going to cause allergy to the patient? It's also very important. So means you are going a care. You are going to take a mother care, a pharmacist care, true pharmacist care to the patient. So then all these things are very important. And if you do all these things, see, people complain that the pharmacists are not recognized in our country. Doctors are recognized? Yes. Nurses are recognized? Yes. Pharmacists? No. Why? Pharmacists are not recognized. Why? Because they don't give care to the patient. They are acting like traders. They are acting like a grocery shop. There is no professionalism. As a result of it, the patients have understood that इसको कुछ नहीं पता है, ये तो दवाई मांगा के रखता है कंपनी से, वो डॉक्टर जो प्रिस्क्राइब करता है वो लेके जाएंगे. So if every patient the doctor treats goes to the doctor and asks him to explain, he will get mad. Because how many patients doctors are seeing? So there is actually vacuum is there. There's a void because the pharmacists are not doing their proper designated responsibility or job. So this is why the pharmacy practice regulations has been committed. Next slide, please. Please change the slide. It's over, you know. So duties includes the dispensing, supplying of drugs, or promotion of rational use of drugs. This is very important. Rational drug use. Many a time the patients come to the pharmacy, sir, I'm having a fever, can you give me some tablet? I'm having a body ache, can you give me some tablet? So this is irrational use of drugs. This should be stopped because this is not illegal because some scheduled drugs are there. So they will ask the drugs which are to be dispensed only on prescription, they will come and ask. So here there are some medicines which are called as over-the-counter medicines, which are non-serious medicines, and that too with the proper understanding, studying the patient condition, the pharmacist should decide upon, not the patient. Pharmacist should decide upon what type of medicines, the OTC medicines are suitable for him, what type of symptomatic relief medicines required for him, and also a patient counseling. I will explain the patient counseling when you come in a case study. Yeah, next slide, please. So the conduct in counseling should be very sincere. You must appear very professional, and you must not appear like and always wear the white coat while you are doing the services in the pharmacy. So please remember that gives you a smartness and a identity that you are a healthcare professional. Please always wear a white coat while you are meeting and talking to a patient. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. This act will be with you. I'm going to spare for the people who join our group. And also I request Madam to send this document. It is a public document. Every registered pharmacist should read it. So all of you should read it. Can I have the next slide, please? So it's about unethical acts, and unethical acts, I told you, one should not do it. What happens is it is going to bounce back, and it is unprofessional, and this thing, one should not give the unethical practice. Although nobody observes, but still then we have to do ethical practice. Yes. So misconduct, all these things, and then the penalty also is there. If a registered pharmacist misbehaves, the government has given a strict warning, and also legally it is bound. If anybody disobeys the law, then he can be tried in the court of law, and also after trying the court of law, if he is proved to be done a wrong thing, he is entitled for punishment. All these things. Next slide, please. So declaration, what the pledge or pharmacist oath. I think you are also taking the pharmacist oath when you are in the graduating ceremony. Okay, next slide, please. Prescription records. Next slide, please. So here is an interesting story. One of the students named Devyani Babode came to me in 2009 to Manipal University. She was doing pharmaceutical care M.Pharm. Pharmaceutical care M.Pharm is in the Kathmandu University, Nepal. There, from India, she had gone there and did her program. As a part of her program, she requested through her personal contact, or mutual personal contact, to give her an opportunity to work under a project. So we gave her a project, and she did a project that is a pharmaceutical care project on diabetes patients. That also will use the following. Afterwards, she started her own pharmaceutical care clinic or pharmaceutical care center in Pune. And few days after 1 year, she worked, and she had a tremendous response. Doctors were very happy because there was someone to support their prescriptions. There was someone to explain their patients. So they said that it is a big relief, because the busy physician always wants assistance, and especially about drugs and diseases and lifestyle modification. Pharmacist is best suited, and she has done that service and also earned some money. It was in 2009, much before the Pharmacy Practice Act came into the place. So now her study includes on diabetic patients. She went to every diabetic patient. And next slide, please. See, this is a study result on quality of life. So what is quality of life? People are using medicines, following instructions of the doctor, but still they are having grumbling, still they are having suffering. The disease haunts them, bothers them too much. So if they are given a pharmaceutical care, means every information a diabetic patient needs, that is been given to the patient, and if he follows all those things, then it becomes the pharmaceutical care project. And then there is a questionnaire available in the world. So in the London, she asked a person who has designed this questionnaire, and he happily spared us. And this is the result of the study. So there were a lot of domains were tested. For example, well-being, self-handling, self-management, all these things. But she had two groups. One group gave the pharmaceutical care, another group was the normal care. So she found that the pharmaceutical care improved on the normal care on several parameters. Okay. Next slide, please. So community outreach program, which I am talking now. We want you to go to the community as per the legal provisions and meet the patients and discuss with them. Is it possible by you? As a student, it is maybe possible, but you will also realize in that process the importance of the pharmacist and also the importance of pharmaceutical care. So that's why we are going to make requesting your college authorities to make a WhatsApp group, and I am backed by a registered association called as Association of Community Farms of India, registered in Manipal, Udupi district, and we have internship program, and that internship program right now it is free, offered free for the students and also the teachers, the mentorship program. So the students and the faculty who are interested to have the patient interactions, they should join this program, and immediately after this lecture, the WhatsApp group is formed. We have got the SAGE Pharmacy Community Connect group, and then it will go on like that. So then they have to go to a medical shop also. Medical shop is an important place where they can meet the patients. Otherwise, they can also go to the home to home. I'll tell you later on. So you come to the WHO FIP, madam, FIP model. So this is the pharmaceutical care center card. So what we used to do is when you visit the patient, we will make a card like this and enter the patient details and his prescription, medicine details. And on the other side of this thing, next slide, please. We have a record of the blood sugar, blood pressure, and the BMI. So all these things are recorded and kept in the patient's home, kept in the pharmacy. So whenever the patient comes for buying medicines, the patient will be able to know, because systematically it is in a system that patient learns about how his blood sugars are fluctuating or are they constant, whether they are normal or abnormal, you will understand. So by this, steady monitoring is possible. So this one, you have to leave it in the patient's home, in the model of home medication review, which is again another model of care, pharmaceutical care. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, next slide, please. So this is a very important slide in which you can find the WHO and FIP, the Federation of International Pharmacy, located in Amsterdam. They have come out with a model of how the pharmaceutical care should be given to the persons. In that model, we are also following the same model. The patient will come and approach the pharmacy or the pharmacist and shows his prescription. After seeing the prescription, the pharmacist will interact with the patient and makes a document and also understands what is the patient's strength of knowledge or the disease and the drug factors, whether he is aware or not. So all these things he makes. And after that, finally, he makes a customized plan. And he says that you do like this. You take this medicine in the morning, in the evening, without food, with water, without water, in the milk, all these things. He will explain the patient and ask him to go for 15 days. Ask him to see the pharmacist again after 15 days. So in that 15 days, the pharmacist will, the patient will monitor and also follow the instructions given by the pharmacist. And after the 15 days, he will come with his knowledge of disease, drug, and lifestyle factors, and check whether there is an improvement or whether there is a a thing which is not improved. So if it is not improved, then why it is not improved? The question should be there. And it should also go for the further evaluation, whether the problem is pertaining to the pharmacy, whether the problem is pertaining to the doctors, whether the problem is pertaining to the nurses. If it is a drug related, pharmacist will try to resolve it. And if it is diagnosis related, you will ask the patient to see the doctor and get it clarified. And if it is nursing issue, again we'll call the nurse and all. So like this, the patient has to come for 3 months. Pharmacist will educate the patient and self-management of the patient becomes possible. The self-management, patient will become self-manageable. So like that, the pharmaceutical care should be given and it should go on like this. So next slide, please. So a case study is there. I want someone of you to read the case study. Please read this case study for my sake. Priyanka ji, can you please read this case study?
Yes, sir.
Will you please read this case? Where is that case?
So that case study.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Can I? Okay, this home medication therapy, na?
Not that. Case study means case study.
Okay, sir. That gastrointestinal acid.
Yes. That one.
Yes,
That one
yes.
you read it.
Okay, sir. 1 second. Sumit sir, please kindly share the slide. One second, sir.
Okay, no problem. So I will mute myself.
Previous slide, sir. Previous one. Okay, sir. Should I read this?
You must explain. Read it slowly.
Okay. So one lady, Mrs. W, it's we are hiding her name. A 53 years old woman has a gastrointestinal acid-related disorder, diagnosed by endoscopy from a doctor. So the patient has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer. Her current drug therapy includes amlodipine, which dose is 10 mg in the morning, salbutamol inhaler 2 puffs as required, then baclomethasone inhaler 200 microgram twice daily, and theophylline 300 milligram twice daily. So the patient has recently undergone the successful H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been confirmed by the carbon urea breath test. The patient smokes 10 cigarettes a day and has a body mass index of 35 and does not drink alcohol.
Now let us explain you the cases. See, whenever a case comes to you, classically we divide the case into 3 parts: the lifestyle factors, drug factors, and disease factors. So can I have the next slide, please? So lifestyle factors. So wrong lifestyles are very, very important because that is going to affect the condition of the patient very well. Because the correct lifestyle can cause a good health in the patient. What is his habits and all these things. So one is he is overweight, she's overweight, and also she is having the smoking habit, 10 cigarettes. Now we have to connect these two to her suffering. How will you do it? For example, the GORD, there will be acid will be bumping into the esophagus and causing burning sensation. Please understand, the pH of the gastric is 2. 2 means corrosive acid. If it enters into the esophagus, then to prevent the entering of the acid into the esophagus, there is a strong sphincter is there, cardio-esophageal sphincter. And this gets relaxed when nicotine is taken. Nicotine relaxes all the skeletal muscles or these muscles. This muscle opens up the sphincter by contraction, I think, not by relaxation. No. So what will happen? The patient will have acid burning sensation. So you must tell the patient, you reduce the smoking to 5 cigarettes and let us see, is there any improvement? So she wants to experiment and find out whatever the advice a healthcare professional gives, is it really worthy? Whether it is really worthy. So she will, for 1 week, she will smoke 5 cigarettes less and realizes that her burning sensations have come down. Episodes of burning sensation have come down. So now the patient. Sorry, there's some disturbance. So the patient is can get convinced that yes, if I leave smoking, that burning sensation will go off. Cooperate and she will immediately follow it. So this is how the patient counseling should be done. The suffering should be connected to the current lifestyle changes and then make them to lifestyle this thing. And there are some drug factors are also there. What are these drug factors? Because the amlodipine is given. Amlodipine, why it is given? Anyone can tell me? Any one of you know the use of amlodipine in this patient? Amlodipine is a antihypertensive drug. It acts on calcium channels blocker. So this calcium channel blocker will also cause the relaxation of the sphincter muscle. Please understand. This also causes the sphincter muscle relaxation, and you can't tell the patient all these things, but you must make a telephone to the doctor and tell that the amlodipine you have prescribed, sir, for the management of hypertension, but this is patient is having the GORD. So if you give this medicine, then she will have more suffering due to acid reflux. So there are many drugs available for the management of the hypertension. Instead of that, we can use the correct medicine. Okay, then it will be good for the patient. So doctor will appreciate your knowledge and also calls you here to his this thing. See, where is the case study and what you have made? Which slide you are focusing, sir? Please focus the correct slide. I was waiting that you will correct yourself. See, we are in the next slide of the case study. Next to case study, but you are, no. Be alert, sir. You should come to it immediately. Where are you? Why you are not understanding? Must be smart. Then this is the thing, and then disease factors. Sometimes what happens, the acid secreted during her regimen, during her disease course, has as a side effect of the disease, because acid from esophagus will enter the lungs and causes the acid. In many cases, it happens so. So, and this has been very interesting. As a pharmacist, you can intervene it. there is a small handheld device called as P-flow meter. In the P-flow meter, the patient will blow and record his respiratory volumes. So asthma, there are respiratory volumes which are below the normal, and if it is respiratory volumes are above normal, then the patient has got no asthma. So now I want to tell you that her GORD is due to H. pylori infection, and H. pylori infection is treated successfully, as the case says, and as a result of it, the patient is having no H. pylori infection, and to confirm whether it is there or not, they will give radio-labeled urea by orally. So radio-labeled urea will get metabolized by an enzyme urease produced by H. pylori bacteria. Human beings doesn't have that urease enzyme. So as a result of it, if the radio-labeled urea, when it is fed, the carbon dioxide doesn't contain radio-labeled urea. The scintillography, mouth-held scintillography, says that there is no carbon dioxide, radio-labeled carbon dioxide, means there is no infection. It is confirmed, 100% confirmed that infection is cured. So now, after that, we have to do the test, and then doing the test, we will realize that the respiratory volumes are much higher, much healthy figures than the diseased asthma condition. Earlier he had asthma. Now, because of the curing of this thing, the asthma is gone. Now what he will do, he will he will also call the doctor and tell that, doctor, I measured his respiratory volume in my pharmacy and it is found to be a healthy this thing. He has no asthma. Whether to you can also measure and confirm this thing, asthma is there or not. The doctor also does the same test in his clinic and finds out that the patient has got no asthma. Now, what all the drugs prescribed for asthma are not at all required. From his prescription, theophylline will be taken out, and amlodipine is already taken out for the BP, and the salbutamol, all those things, anti-asthmatic drugs, beclomethasone inhaler, all these things are removed. The patient is free of these taking these drugs. Doctor once says that you can't take these drugs because we have no asthma. Earlier you had asthma, I used it. Now I don't prescribe these medicines. So now what a big relief and what a big contribution as a pharmacist. For this, knowledge of medicinal chemistry, knowledge of pharmaceutics, knowledge of drug-drug interactions, all these things you study in your pharmacy course. Please use this. Don't leave it go. Can I come to the next slide? Come out of this. So home medication review, what does it mean? So the patients are staying at home. They're taking medicines from the pharmacy and going home. In the home, whether they are doing it properly or not, we have to check it. So in our model, we used to go on Sundays with a team of 1 mentor and 5 interns. They used to visit and they used to ask in the home that anybody is on prescribed medicine. Then yes, they will say this is. So where is the prescription? Where is the medicines? We used to call. So then they used to show the medicine and other thing. And then we used to study the pharmaceutical care, lifestyle, drug factors, and disease factors. We used to study there only. And immediately we would like to tell her these things. So one interesting case study I want to tell you is also duplication of the medicine and irrelevant medicine and so on. We went in the course of our home medication review. We went to a home where the patient was a 70-year-old lady. This is in Manipal. Manipal University, I am educated. So we went on Sundays. We used to go on a small team on Sundays. And every evening we used to do pharmaceutical pharmacy practice in front of a medical shop. So like that, in turn, 5, 6 teachers, means every day we used to be there in this thing. So we used to measure the BP, we used to measure the BMI, we used to measure the blood sugar and all these things we used to measure. And people got benefited by this. I tell you one by one. So in that course of thing, we realized that that lady was bedridden, and I asked her, what has happened to this lady? They said that she is weak. So what is the reason for weak? Is she not shown to doctor? Yes, we have gone to doctor. Doctor has prescribed multi vitamins and minerals. And then did you ask in pharmacy? Yes, in pharmacy also we went. They also given multivitamin and B complex syrup. And then one of the doctor told that you take injection, European. So the lady of 70-year age whose muscle mass is very, very low, taking an intramuscular injection is highly painful. Highly painful. And weekly, twice she used to take. And she said that, "अरे क्या कहूँ, मेरे को इससे छुटकारा दीजिए. I can't bear the pain." Huh? So, because the lady and the gentleman, he is 75-year-old, were in the home. The children's, both the children's have gone abroad and doing their professional career and sending money. So these people have no dearth of money. But only thing is, no direction, no guidance, no proper guidance to them. So as a result of it, they were suffering from the disease, and then we said, let after looking at the prescription, we found that we checked their diet. They said that they are eating normal diet, and normal diet means it's usually rich in carbohydrate. That's all. Carbohydrate and fat, less in protein. So you know that the 35% of the each diet should contain protein. The protein was not there. So as a result of this, continuously for several years eating only the carbohydrate enriched diet and fat enriched diet, the patient has become weak. Then we said that you take, and then we could have easily told them, take Protein X, Horlicks, or Ensure. But wait, we thought that it should not be like that. It should be very simple and very interesting and bit of participation. So you all know the moong. Sabut moong you all know. Green gram, isn't it? That one we said you buy 1 kilo of green gram, and while during night you soak it in water, and in the morning, one fistful, only one fistful, one fist is one fistful, and then morning you eat it. So like that, you may eat for 15 days. After 15 days, we are going to come. So exactly after 15 days, we visited the patient to the home, and to our surprise, the lady was very, very agile, and she made tea for all of us. It's a miracle. How come she could walk up and all these things? So the medicine is not the main thing which is helping them. The diet, especially the protein, is very, very important. And that is not there in their diet. That's why the weakness has suffering them. So that can be overcome by eating one fishful of moong for 15 days. And then the things are going to resolve. So like this, we have to resolve. We have to find out the answers for the challenges. You have studied anatomy, you have studied physiology, you have studied so many subjects, biochemistry, and all these things. All the knowledge is there with you. And when you are challenged by a patient, his condition, you become super human being, super pharmacist. When you are challenged, it is a common phenomena. So whenever I challenged, I came with I surprised. I was surprised. I myself wondered, is it a Dr. Nagappa who can solve such a complicated problem. Yes, because I have a connection for the patient. I wanted to help that patient and solve his problem. So I became superhero. I became all my knowledge, whatever I studied in B Pharm, M Pharm, and in PhD, when you are challenged by a case. So this is how the home medication review went on. Come to the photographs now. So a product-oriented approach and patient-oriented approach. Now from product-oriented approach to patient-oriented centered or oriented approach, we should change. Next slide, please. Yeah, see the physician, nurses, and pharmacists and other healthcare professionals like physiotherapists and all these things should be patient-centric, should work on the patient, not on the medicines. So we are like a team player. We must work in a team. We must not isolate ourselves and work in isolation. So we collaborate with the doctor, nurse, and the patient, and also help them. Next slide, please. So nowadays, what is happening? Increase in chronic diseases, diabetes. So many patients are there, isn't it? They are increasing. The number is increasing. So increase in use of medicines. So that way we are getting drug safety issues, patients with side effects, suffering, and all this. Okay, come to the photographs. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Next. See, look at this photo. Two students like you with training in measurement of BP, BMI, and blood sugar have gone to the patient home and educating the patient. Next slide, please. So here also a bedridden patient, BP was measured and monitored. So another patient. So the patient pharmaceutical care card is being entered. This is also the home medication review. So to give you an idea, we have shown this thing. Can you come? I think I'm coming to the end of my session. Okay. Benefits of HMR, the geriatric patients and all these things are going to be helped. Pharmacists are going to be getting this. They can choose their free time and they can do this home medication review. So for the patients, improve their knowledge about the dosage, frequency, indication and time, and compliance. Compliance means agreement with the treatment. Many patients do not agree to the treatment. They will say yes in front of the doctor, but they will do misuse of the medicines. Okay. Okay. Government, it is caution. So there are so many studies of home medication review. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. It is proved that home medication review improves the patient conditions. Patients become more and more happy to see a pharmacist at their own home. But however, they have to pay money, they will be paying money also. Next slide, please. So these are the various data on the home medication reviews. Yeah. So another 2 more papers. Yeah, these are the summary of the home medication reviews. Okay, thank you. We should have the knowledge. You already have the knowledge. You are doing research. You are having the knowledge in a group. The knowledge is there. Yes, it is there. And attitude. If you have the helping attitude to the people, then you have the right attitude. And then the previous slide, please. I'm explaining and you're moving. What is this? Please backward. Last point. Please go back. Okay, knowledge, attitude, and practice. So we have to do practice now. So please get yourself ready to go practice. Internships are there for 2 months to 6 months. Any internship you can do, and it is free of cost. But you have to make a document, and your mentor should agree that you have done this visits to the patient's home or service in the public. Then only the internship you can earn it. So that is also free. So everything is free, but again, your work is a must and you must do it. Thank you very much. I think I'll hand over to Mahadev. But
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Mahadev, sir, to please address our participants. Sir,
Hello, it's a good afternoon, right? It's almost midnight here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be very brief and I'm going to tell you why I like this program. Because when I graduated, this program was not there. Here, the students will get a chance to communicate with the patient and know their medication. I will just think about it, that the doctor wrote a prescription for prednisone 50 milligram once a day. And doctor saw the patients at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Patient comes out and goes to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist will give them 5 tablets, So take one every day with food for 5 tablets. Now, 50 milligram of prednisone, if you take after 4 o'clock in the evening, you are not going to sleep all night long, because that is the side effect. Most probably the patient got the medication because he had asthma or something, or they are trying to suppress the immunity. When you dispense the medication in a strip and you go to a pharmacy and they don't even tell you that why you are taking this medication. So whenever you go to a patient or talk to a patient, always ask open-end questions. That why did you go to the doctor? Did you have a diarrhea or did you have a infection or things like that before you give the medication in their hands? Because most probably you might be giving a wrong medication. There is another good example is that hydroxyzine and hydralazine. And I think your teacher will tell you what is the difference in that. One medication is for blood pressure and one medication is for itching. And, generally, if they are arranging their pharmacy, can you guys hear me? If you arrange your pharmacy alphabetically, then somebody just picked up the wrong medication and give it to you. So when you are joining this program and when you are going to talk to the people, first you should know your medication. Then you should know why the doctor has given them the medication. And it's up to you to find out. Patient may not even know that why doctor gave the medication, but you can ask them that, for what reason did they go there? Number 3, I like this program that it will develop the attitude that diploma students are not only the one who can run a medical shop. Pharmacist from B Pharm or Pharm D can also run this thing. In this country where I am, there are only 2 colleges now who gives a BS in pharmacy. One is UOP and the other was in Utah. Everybody gets a Pharm D degree. When you work in a community pharmacy, you get paid more. In industry and hospital, they don't pay you that much because there's a limited time job and there's a limited number of patients. Now in India, it is something different. That you go to a pharmacy, you tell them you want this medication and they will just give it to you and they will say goodbye. And there are a lot of different avenues where the community pharmacy can help. You can do the diabetic counseling. You can check their blood sugar. You can find out what medications they are taking. You can find out what time they are taking. The asthma. These are not the disease. These are the condition of the body. Blood pressure is not a disease. If you don't have a blood pressure, you don't live. You are dead. You cannot say that I have got a 0 blood pressure. So these are the condition of the body which needs a management. Now, when you do and research and development and look at the drug and you invent a drug, fine. India invented the vaccine, but somebody has to give the vaccine. It's a different phenomena. Now here, pharmacists give the vaccine. You go to any pharmacy, they will, today, I think I was talking to Priyanka ji this morning, that I'm planning to take a Moderna bivalent vaccine, which is the newest one, because I'm going to come to India, in 3 months. So I need their Omron coverage, I went to a regular pharmacy. I went to a Walgreens. That pharmacy I had opened when it started for the first time, so I went to that pharmacy and I took the shot. They asked me a couple of questions. They asked me to fill certain things out. And the lady was very kind. She could recognize that, I know a lot about pharmacy. So she typed up everything and she just asked me to sign. It was a courtesy. Now, where are you going to show the care for a person? If you all are pharmacists, to me, B Pharm, M Pharm or Pharm D or diploma doesn't make a difference. Because here, everybody has to take a license from the State Board of Pharmacy to enter the pharmacy. Only the registered pharmacist has got a key to open the pharmacy and people can only go in and out at his discretion. Because we are handling the dangerous substances which can alter the body. Look at the definition of a drug. Now you go to the pharmacy, you picked up the medication and they gave you the wrong medication. You go home, eat a nice meal, if you can, and then you take that medication and then your heart stops in the middle of the night. The pharmacist was the last person they saw lively who can translate to them how to take the medication. I would have not given the medication 50 milligram to the patient to take after 4 o'clock. I would have told them that, it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock. You are picking up this medication. Generally, it is taken in the morning with your breakfast and you should eat very heavily. Try to eat a banana, Maybe you go home and eat some rice and yogurt. Then maybe you take a half a tablet today and then you will take another half tablet in the morning, and then you go eat. Now, this little much information to the patient is going to draw him towards you because he had a good night's sleep. And these are the things we learn when we study the pharmacy. You study anatomy, physiology, a lot of other things. Like asthma patient. Suppose you get a prescription in the pharmacy that dexamethasone 10 milligram 4 times a day. Wouldn't you want to know why somebody is taking dexamethasone long-acting steroid 4 times a day? Maybe he has got a cancer. The doctor is trying to suppress the immunity. Wouldn't you want to talk to a cancer patient and find out why did they go to a doctor? Wouldn't you want to tell them that how this medication is taken? Wouldn't you want to let them know that if you take too much of steroids, it causes infection? You know, right now the problem is that everybody goes and takes some steroids because of the COVID thing, because they want to suppress the immunity, but they are going to end up with a super infection. So the knowledge you have acquired is tremendously helpful, you know, and I always thought how this program is going to be started in India, because we don't have that culture there. And when I found out that Dr. Nagappa, Dr. Anantha has started a Pharmacy Connect program, I got very impressed with it. I said, yeah, this is going to catch up. Some of the college students are going to study this thing, and it's going to become like a UOP. Whosoever goes to UOP here in San Francisco, they are the best drug counselors. I can identify a UOP student standing, he'll be the first one to go to the out window, and advise the patient. Don't you want to be that? A respect needs to be earned. I do respect research and development. I do respect the finding the drug, but we are great. India has done a great job in becoming the hub of the world pharmacy. But somewhere we have to take this medication to the consumer. If I ask you a question, and most probably I know what is the answer, how many of you have a medication profile of your family? Do you know what your child is taking? Most probably the mother will know, not the man will never know that, But do you know what your husband is taking? Does your husband know that what birth control pill if you are taking, what she is taking and why she is taking? A very good example is that I think birth control pill, when a woman takes, it helps them to have the estrogen and progesterone. At that time, if a pharmacist tells them that take some calcium citrate, not calcium carbonate, because when that woman goes into the menopause at the age of 50 or 55, she is going to get all the calcium out of the body. So why not take some calcium while you are taking a birth control pill, and you have a more reservoir of calcium in the body? This might even help the osteoporosis. A lot of women in India, when you see them, that after the age of 45 or 50, they have got a small hump. Why that hump is coming? Some of the vertebrae are compressing, and patient is losing the height, and they're about to get into osteoporosis. They might need more. So you can change the health of the nation. You have got a tremendous opportunity to advise patients what you have learned. So these are the reasons I like this thing. And if you make some WhatsApp group or things like that, you will learn a lot. And remember that page Dr. Naik showed you, where it says the chart, the name of the patient, age of the patient, weight of the patient. And you never ask patient what disease you have got. You ask them, what is your health condition? Nobody wants to know that what disease they have got, or they don't want to tell you that I have got a typhoid, or I have a dysentery, or I have got a diarrhea. No, what is your health condition? Do you have a cholesterol problem, or do you have what medications you are taking? And tell them these are the health condition. We can monitor them, not that we are going to cure. You cannot cure cholesterol problem. You cannot cure diabetes problem. You cannot cure asthma problem. Those are the inherent things in the body, but you can manage them so they feel better. When I had my pharmacist, wherever I see asthma patient, I will sell them a humidifier. I said, leave it on at night near your bed, you will cough less. Because if it is a dry cough, it might get infected. If it's a little bit moist cough, he's going to sleep night. I said, don't run in the morning, but run it at night. I made more money selling the humidifier than selling the medication, because all medication I was making hardly $4 per prescription, because they were to the insurance. They just give me a filling fee rather. When I sell a humidifier, I got a 35% profit. I sold so many humidifier, they gave me, every 5 I buy, they give me 1 free. They said, you are the pharmacy in La Crescenta who sells maximum humidifier. But I was able to identify people, So if you identify your population, if you can identify your demographic, you have a tremendous chance to make a lot of money. If I come to your house and if I check your blood pressure, if I tell you that these are the things if you do, and can I have your doctor's name? And then you inform the doctor that you visited this patient, and on that particular day, this was his blood pressure. That doctor is going to love you because you took care of his patient. But you have to consider that they are your patients. They are your patients. Maybe, in future, we will talk more, because once you get an experience, I can give you more examples, And I had asked one question to Priyanka ji, that what is the ratio of boys and girls in your college? I think the answer was 7-3, 7 male and 3 females. Still, it's a great ratio, but I wouldn't say 3, I would say 6, because a girl always helps 2 people. They help their parents and they will help their in-laws. So girls, you should not feel that you are in minority. More girls is better, because you have got a different way of looking at the issue. आप किसी की भी बेटी बन सकती हो. Boys are boys, In my pharmacy, I had 9 technicians. I always worked in a pharmacy where they do not less than 1,000 prescriptions. Everybody calls me Uncle Dave, all the girls, and I tell them, we all have the same knowledge. Anything goes wrong in this pharmacy, I will be blamed, but without your help, I cannot give the right medication. So whenever there is a difficult patient, let me know. I will go and talk to them, and their patients are sometimes difficult because they don't have money. But you have to create the environment that you are their pharmacist. And I will give you one last example. My classmate, Shashi Karelia, he used to work in Pennsylvania town called Stanton. President Biden's father used to live there, and her mother, I think, passed away later, so she used to live in that town. So one time I went to see Shashi, and he says, if you get lost, just stop by and ask any cop. They will bring you to my pharmacy. I said, man, this guy is bluffing, He's trying to impress me. So I wanted to test him. So at one corner, I saw the cop car. I stopped my car and I said, hey, I would like to go to Shashi's pharmacy. He said, oh, okay, sir, we know you are coming, because he said that his classmate is coming. The guy took me to his pharmacy. There was a small board outside his pharmacy. If this pharmacy is closed and if you need the medication emergency, please call me on my cell number. He was so popular in that town, and eventually he sold his pharmacy to the Walgreens, So you have to earn your respect. And let me tell you one thing, what you study in the books, that gives you the basic knowledge. But how you apply it is up to you. Each one of you can be an inventor in your own way, because you have got a special way of treating your patients. When you guys make a WhatsApp group, Priyanka ji, if you want to put my number, go ahead, you can put it in and ask me a question, have some communication, and you can ask me anything. You can even ask me how am I doing or what music I like, And yesterday night, I got a phone call from Haryana that somebody was, bleeding from the nose. And I found out that they had an angiogram done, and the doctor was giving them high dose of aspirin, 325, and they never stopped it, So I said, why don't you stop at 325 and take some call pack and put in their notes and do that. Apparently that lady, that girl, had heard me somewhere in some college, and they had my WhatsApp number. And you can do the same thing. I didn't do anything special, but you can help people, and guys, be respectful to your teachers, because that's where you get your primary knowledge. Okay, I'm going to India to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee function in Ahmedabad on 5th and 6th of January, So, and I'm thankful that I'm a pharmacist, and you all can do great, okay? There's a vast field in India. Pharmacy doesn't work the way it works here, and we have done tremendous thing in research and development. And thank you all the teachers. Dr. Goswami is there, Priyanka Benji is there, then there was a name of Mr. Chaurasia. Thank you for producing great pharmacists and making India proud. We thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. For Mahadev, sir, I would like to say something that in spite of such a time issues and in such a short notice, sir is able to share his wonderful knowledge with us. So महादेव सर, उसके लिए आपका तहे दिल से थैंक यू कि आपने इतना टाइम इश्यूज, आपके मिडनाइट है वहां पर, फिर भी आपने हमारे साथ अपनी इतनी अच्छी लर्निंग्स और एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया और बहुत अच्छी तरीके से हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को गाइड किया. थैंक यू सो मच. और
प्रियंका जी, थैंक यू आपको, क्योंकि मैं दोपहर को सो गया था because I had to stay awake at night. My son came, to take me to the pharmacy to get the shot, and I said, hey, today it's going to be late, but this lady said that Dr. Naik has said that I will come. So he says, Dad, just go and take a nap in the afternoon. No big deal, You haven't taken a nap in this, so thank you for letting me have a nice nap this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And I love my India, and you all guys are great. Okay, keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste ji. Anantha, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for being with us. I will
No problem.
share, sir. I will share as a token of appreciation on behalf of our SAGE group a certificate with you soon on your mail ID. So I will send you that.
Sure.
After that.
No problem. No problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So now I would like to conclude the session. So Nagappa sir, it's really a pleasure for us that you both, the legendary people, are being with us, with our students, and you really make us to realize, our students to realize that pharmacist care is really a very important. It is as important as the mother care. I have I have learned that statement from Nagappa sir's slide. So it's really how beautifully you have quoted the different examples to enlighten our students that we should more and more focus on the patient care, for the patient review, for the patient oriented studies, and we assure that we and our students will definitely work on the patient safety and therapeutic efficacy. So from I would like to show a deep thanks of appreciation from my bottom of my heart for to both of you for sharing such a wonderful and valuable knowledge with us. On the behalf of SIRTS Pharmacy and SAGE Group, I would like to share as a token of appreciation a certificate for both of you. Sumit sir, kindly share the certificate.
Hey, if you one last thing,
Yes, sir.
Mukesh Ambani is buying a Boots Pharmaceuticals in London, and the Boots Pharmaceutical owns the Walgreens Pharmacy in America, and there are 9,000 Walgreens Pharmacy stores in America. So maybe in another 5 years, the Walgreens may be in India, and Mukesh Ambani is a very smart guy, So the pharmacy practice is going to change in India, and you guys are the pioneer, You all should write this day in your diary that your ma'am conducted the class, Dr. Nagappa came and gave you the lectures. And, when you grow old like me, I'm 74 years old, people will say that who were in the first batch. I was in the second batch of Manipal Pharmacy College. I graduated in 72 from Ahmedabad, because I took a transfer because, my grandfather died and I ran out of money, But I still go to those colleges and I thank them that they made me a pharmacist. So practice in pharmacy is changing in India. Maybe Walgreens will be there pretty soon if Mukesh will go and buy the Boots Pharmaceuticals,
So, yes,
Thank you so much.
that's great.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. And our students and we as a faculty members, we definitely join your WhatsApp group and would like to integrate with you, and work for your internship course. I will ask the students and make the group soon, make the WhatsApp
Thank
group
you.
soon.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you very much.
Anantha. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you very
Namaste.
much.
Namaskar, sir. Have a nice day.
Namaskar. Priyanka ji, you've got a very beautiful daughter. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, okay, so, sir, shall we end the meeting?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.
So, Mr. You can end the meeting.